Our next presenter is Tony Umile. He's been a photographer since high school, his high school days back in New York City, where he became a fan of the hated Yankees. He started in photography all the way back in the days of the typewriter, you know, with film. Everything from pinhole cameras now up to cell phone cameras. And his presentation, why have a concept? He's very deliberate.
It's from using the 4x5 camera. It's a very slow process. Artists, I think, in general, are pack rats. And I think I mentioned that because I still have a camera that I had when I was in high school. Anyway, recently I've discovered on my little cell phone, which is no longer a cell phone because we don't have the connection, just in terms of a camera. And I've discovered that this particular one makes it possible for me to do color negatives. And in the old days, using Kodacolor, color negatives didn't look like this because they all had an orange base. And so I thought, this is interesting. You can come out with all these different weird colors. And the title, the reason for the title. If you go to exhibit, this is what I learned many years ago, before I realized that you needed this. I went to a couple of galleries and just showed a nice stack of photographs, and the gallery owner went through them like he was going through playing cards. You know, I think maybe he spent less time on looking at old mine than we're doing right now, today, or tonight. Anyway, you're supposed to have a theme, a subject, a story. You got to ask you what, you know, essentially what you ask yourself and what other artists ask is, what's your objective? What are you trying to do? Well, on these, not much of anything. Essentially just looking at intriguing ideas in terms of color, streaks. I like doing reflections. People, and then some of you who know my work, I do a lot of things with double exposures. Of course, with a cell phone, well, any digital camera, you don't need to do double exposures because you do that in Photoshop. So, you know, just abstract stuff, whatever sort of struck my fancy. My idea of these is sort of see if I can expand the way I see the world and looking at things. Normally, I would not photograph like this. Here, as you can see, forget having the ocean as a horizontal line. The Titanic, right? No, it was. I'm not that old. This was the. This is the ship off of the coast of Italy. Some people might recognize this as the library, Longmont Library. So just, you know, different things. I like the way the sort of the greens turn out. They become so, iridescent almost. But, you know, it can be literal too. So I guess what holds all these things together, this is the skip bus in Boulder. The thing that holds all these together is that these are kinds of things that I normally want not do. And just, and you know, I don't mind things looking ghostly, you know. And when you change it from negative, you have no idea what from the original color, you have no idea, I don't anyway, what the final color is going to be. This is intriguing. This was a piece, this one and the next one, of a fantastic piece of art that was at BMoCA on the second floor. Just the reflections inside this polyhedron sphere. It's all flat surfaces with pieces of mirror on the inside. And those are just multiple reflections, one mirror reflecting off another one and things of the sort. It was just amazing. BMoCA has probably among the most interesting art in Boulder. And I can't remember what this was originally, but you know, that's okay. I don't take notes like I do when I'm, quote, serious. This is just a small part of a larger image. But this looked more interesting. So I like to play with layers. As you can see, lots of reflections. In this case with, well, of course, you know, texture, color. I do so much in black and white that it's kind of a refreshing change to look at color in a different way. And this is the spruce confection up in North Boulder. Just the sunlight coming through the window against the counter. You know, you can see where they would serve. Some people may recognize this glass. They got several over several at the Java stop like this. Why, if you can't look weird, why take a self-portrait? Mirrors, just reflections on reflections.
Thank you, Tony.